What's going on, YouTube? Ferocity here. Hope you guys are doing well. Nothing about Black Ops 6 makes sense. And it all begins at startup of this game. When you want to play Black Ops 6, you can't just boot up Black Ops 6. No, you have to boot up Call of Duty HQ for some reason and get hit with an ad right away. Please buy the Vault Edition. Please spend more money on this game. That's what they want you to do. Then you boot into Black Ops 6 and right away you're met with the opportunity to play multiplayer, campaign, or zombies. Of course, you're only here if there was no update, because of course if there was an update it would require restart on Call of Duty HQ, which is nonsensical, but that's neither here nor there. Let's go back to that startup menu. Multiplayer, campaign, or zombies. You can choose to play any of those modes, but heaven forbid you go away for a weekend and you decide to bring your computer, your PlayStation, your Xbox with you to a place that has no internet. This $70 game becomes an absolute brick at that case. Never mind if you bought the Vault Edition, now that $100 game is just a brick. It's a nice little piece of decoration because you can't play any of these modes offline. Does that make any sense? Why is it that they decided to put campaign, zombies, and multiplayer split screen all on servers only? Makes no sense. And on top of that, why is it now that zombies and campaign have packet burst built into them? Because of course they do. The same way that packet burst is running rampant across multiplayer. But they'll never talk about it. They'll never mention that maybe it's their fault. No. It's their incompetency and their laziness that has led us to this point, which could be easily resolved by them acknowledging the issue or investing in fixing it. Why don't they? Well, that at least makes a little bit of sense because you guys keep incentivizing them, which makes no sense why you do it. You're just buying AI skins. And while we're talking about AI, we could talk about these maps. Because I believe that parts of these maps were developed by AI. Parts of this game were developed by AI. That's not even a bit of a conspiracy theory. That's the truth. But it feels like it, and it plays like it. There's aspects of this game that feel hollow because of AI integration. And it makes no sense why we decided to do that. And then we get to the actual gameplay. And what makes no sense about this gameplay is how consistently inconsistent it is. And as a result, it infuriates us, frustrates us, and makes us never want to play again. But then we also decide to make the dumb decision to continue to play, which makes no sense because we have all of this evidence in front of us to say there's no reason to play again. Skill-based matchmaking's here, engagement-optimized matchmaking, some people believe skill-based damage is here. All of these reasons tell us we shouldn't play. The entire system is rigged. It's inorganic. It's inauthentic. And as a result, we should not waste our time on it. But we still do. Because Activision is a very smart company, and they've found ways to trick your brain to get you addicted to this game that you may like, you may not love. You definitely like aspects of it. You definitely hate other aspects of it. Similar to all of the TikToks or Instagram Reels you watch. You like some of them, you hate others, but it's okay. The algorithm will fix things so that it can lock you into it longer. So you mindlessly continue to scroll. It's the same thing with Call of Duty. They want you mindlessly shooting these AI skin bots that are running rampant in the game. And I'm not advocating that there's bots here in Black Ops 6, but what I mean is they don't really care who the person that you're shooting at is. There's no community here anymore. There's no feeling of connection to anything. They've eroded that away, whether it's through their AI monitoring of text and chat. Like, why? Makes no sense. Why you do that? It's a rated M for mature game. Why would you want to moderate what people are saying? Who cares if little Timmy got his feelings hurt? Maybe a 12-year-old shouldn't be playing a game that's rated M for mature. Maybe his feelings aren't able to handle the words that other people say. Heaven forbid. And you know what's crazy? And I've said this before. There's this thing called the mute button that was invented like back in 2005 that you could utilize as well without having this and eroding away the entire community aspect of Call of Duty. So back to the original point though, what Activision has essentially done is they've made your enemies pointless. It doesn't matter who you play against because next match you're re-rolled through the algorithm to find the next batch of faceless AI enemies. And again, they're not AI. I'm not advocating for that, but This community certainly is. There are members of this community that believe that AI bots are running rampant through multiplayer yet again after this entire conspiracy theory first surfaced last year. But why is it that it's constantly only happening in Call of Duty, pardon me? It's because nobody talks from Activision, except for one guy, Matt Scrons, and that's it. But he's not going to sit there and talk about AI bots. He's got bigger fish to fry, like figuring out why on earth we have recon in this game and why there hasn't been a proper fix to it. Oh no, we've just reduced it by a second here, by half a second there. Like, that's going to make a difference. Just eliminate it altogether. But why is it that this game, this franchise, used to have such a thriving community, such a good relationship with the developers? Well, it's because they used to care. But they've eroded that away by having arrogant developers like what happened with Infinity Ward and MW2 2022. And now we're in a situation where, again, we deal with a faceless corporation. Whenever there's an issue, they just send something generic out on Call of Duty updates and call it a day. Maybe they'll leak something to Charlie Intel or Modern Warzone and they'll pick it up and send it to their followers. But they don't want to do anything or take any responsibility for themselves. And that's what really bothers me, and that's what should bother you as well. And it makes no sense why you don't get more upset about it. Why you don't have more self-respect when it comes to this video game. I get it that they have made you addicted to this franchise. They've made you addicted to Black Ops 6. That makes sense. But why is it that you cannot find any flaws with this game? Why is it that anytime somebody brings up something that is contrary to your enjoyment, it's all of a sudden coming from a hater? It's coming from somebody who doesn't like the game. That's not the case. I like Black Ops 6. But I see through all of the things that don't make sense, and I have to ask the reasons why they're in the game. Why is it that we have all of this nonsense? Why is it there's so much mystery around the matchmaking system, around the servers, around the gun balance, and the fact that none of it feels authentic? The fact that the experience has been completely degraded over the last few years, all in favor of more revenue by microtransactions. Ooh, great goody. More AI nonsense, because that's what the skins really are. That's what AI has done for Call of Duty. It has saved them time and money on generating worthwhile skins. Everything now is just generated by AI. There's no human element to it, and you can feel it. This game doesn't feel the way it used to. It doesn't have an identity like it used to. And that, to me, is really the biggest crime here. That's what truly makes no sense, is how they've been able to completely erode away Call of Duty's identity and yet still have so many people eating out of the palm of their hands. This franchise currently makes no sense. It does not deserve to be as popular as it is, because the overall product that they are giving right now lacks quality, lacks polish, and lacks consistency. And if it was any other game, Battlefield, Halo, X-Defiant, Fallout, SOCOM Navy SEALs, if we want to go back to that point, Tom Clancy, whatever it might be, they would be held to a higher standard. The expectations would be higher. These flaws would actually be held accountable for. We'd look to the developers, to the publishers, and say, you need to do better. As we've seen with X-Defiant, we held that developer responsible, and look, they're making quality changes to that game. But for whatever reason, we don't do it for Call of Duty. I don't understand why. And that's really the theme of today's video. None of this makes any sense. I do not understand the current state of Call of Duty and why so many people are so willing to defend it and sweep so much of the nonsense under the rug. And why, when anything is brought up to the contrary, we're all labeled as haters or conspiracy theorists. I don't really care what you label me as. But at some point you have to admit the inconsistencies are becoming a pretty big problem, especially when you have some of the highest regarded YouTubers talking about how inconsistent the game is and how none of it makes any sense. Because Black Ops 6 makes no sense. That's it for the video today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, can you please hit that like button? If you want to see more videos from me, please hit that subscribe button. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.